Welcome to Rythmia Roaring 20s number 6. Today is a little bit of an overcast day, but it's absolutely beautiful at Rythmia. I wish you could see what I'm seeing, the colors of oranges and pinks and reds. It's just greens. It's just beautiful. Anywho, what is Rythmia? First off, welcome. This is going to be a very interesting one, at least I think. Welcome to Rythmia. Rythmia is a life advancement center in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. The one and only of its kind in the world. What makes this so unique? Well, we believe in a particular methodology called a soul merger that has a beautiful and lasting effect on the lives of the people that come here. The week at Rythmia is a life-changing week. We are TripAdvisor's #1 customer-rated resort in the world. So please go to TripAdvisor and see what people are saying. And I think there's over 1,300 1,300 or more. I think 1,350 or something. Customer reviews there, and we are the best. And we're the best at this thing. We are the best, the absolute best. We had a wild week. Taita Juanito Chindon was here last week. We were full. We had just the most amazing time. Good morning, Claudia. Good morning, Jen. We had the most amazing time when I drank medicine 2 nights, and it was a wild, wild, wild event. Again, the transformations that take place at Rythmia are forever. We're in this beautiful business, and we get to see people change their lives and hear from them in the future about how their life has changed and the effect that this place has had on them. It is a beauty. Now, the last couple of weeks, I've been talking a lot about this V-shaped recovery in the economy. That's absolutely happening. Yes, it's going to cause some inflation. That's part and parcel with the thing. But nevertheless, you're going to see a Roaring 20s. This will be called the Roaring 20s again. A Roaring 20s type of recovery. And it's a great opportunity for people to take advantage of the momentum of an economy as it expands. It's a great, great, great advantage. So today I'm going to talk about a couple of different things. I'm going to talk, because I've been talking about money the last few weeks, I'm going to continue to talk about it because for whatever reason, it seems to be, I guess, the most inquired upon topic that there is. So when I talk about spirituality, money is absolutely a part of that spirituality. Your experience of this life and the hardships of it and the pleasure of it are the result of many little different slices of what the totality of your life is. One of those slices, and one of the slices that can give us the most time for understanding spirituality and all the things spiritual is, are we having our needs met financially? It's just part of it. And I want to talk about that. I love this stuff. So hi, Trisha. Hi, Mindy. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Kay. Hi, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, everybody. So I want to talk about that. So what is the one thing that I know is going to happen? I know that the passage of time is occurring. I know that. And I know that the only thing that I can predict is the set and setting of what's going to happen in the future based on my activity today as it pertains to the passage of time. So I want to go back into that. So what I'm saying is this. Everything that I'm doing today is going to affect what happens in my future. Every single thing that I'm doing today is going to affect what happens in my future. And also may have the opportunity to create guilt about what's happening in the future. So there's some part of us that knows on a real level that the things that we're doing, our habits, our way of being, our work ethic affects our life in the future. And we also know that one of the only constants in our life is change. And change is the passage of time. So once we get to the conclusion that the passage of time is going to happen no matter what we do, then if we don't do things that affect our future in a positive way to create a pleasant setting for the unfolding of our life in the future, then we have guilt. So what is that? Let's just take it. So like if I have a health issue and I'm carrying 20 pounds too much, and in the morning I say I'm going to work out and I don't, I sit on the couch, and then later in the day I feel guilt. Why? It's not that the couch wasn't comfortable or that I didn't enjoy watching Hogan's Heroes or whatever I was watching there, not that. It's that I wasted that time that's going to affect how I feel in the future. So I'm going to tell you this. The passage of time is happening anyway. Next week is coming. Next month is going to be here. 2022 will arrive. As will 2024, 2026, 2028. And you are going to be in a particular position in those years, in those months, and in those days based on the decisions you make today. Based on the decisions you make today. And I got to tell you something. The difference in expendable energy from not doing anything and sitting on the couch, and the difference from getting to the gym and to working out or just taking a walk is night and day. What do I mean by that? One of them is creates endorphins and makes you alive, and the other one just brings guilt. So knowing that this is how you're making a decision anyway. You're making the decision to do something or not do something. That's a fact. And the decision to not do something generally creates guilt. Now, it doesn't create guilt in a person who's flat out, meaning what? If I get up every day and work out and do this every day and do that every day and do this every day and become a beneficial presence on the planet, do my work, have integrity enough to honor my family, my children, my this, my mother, my that, I'm doing everything I can do. Then when I take a day off, it's fun. But if I just take days off to take days off, it's not fun. It's not part of the thing. So let's talk about this. So what is it that you can do today to affect things? Well, the first thing you can do is spend time getting to your truth, assessing this is who I am. This is who I am. And if you get to this is who I am, this is why I am this, and how can I change this to make this better in the future? Boom. This is all decisions. It's all action, and it all happens right now. There's not a person out there. There's not one person out there. And I don't care what your yesterday was, what your earlier this morning was, what last month was, what last week was, what life situation you find yourself in, where you were born, how you were born, why you were born. I don't care, and neither does it. All it cares, and the only thing that matters are the decisions that you're making in this moment to affect the future that's coming anyway. Boom. That is it. That is it. If anybody talks you into any other shit, they have an agenda. I want you to understand this. So listen to this. You're my age, or 20 or 30 or 40 or whatever, in 70 is coming. You're going to be 70. As strange as that sounds, you're going to be 70. What kind of 70 do you want to be? Do you want to be a 70 who's dependent on the kindness of the government to make sure that you're okay? Do you want to be that kind of 70? A 70 who's dependent on the kindness of the government to make sure that I'm okay? Or how about this? How about a 70 who's dependent on my struggling children? Because at 70, life is always a struggle. But at 70, what if you had to go to your children who were already struggling and say, hey, look, guys, you've got to take care of me. Oh, my God. Talk about a loss of integrity and a loss of pride and a loss. And it doesn't have to be that way. See, the beautiful thing is that the things that we do today are affecting the future in the hugest way. So when we pick, and this is where being a beneficial presence on the planet comes into play. Being a beneficial presence in the planet comes into play when we pick from a merged part of ourselves. We pick the thing. What is the thing? Well, the thing can be the choice to be a mother, the choice to be a father, the choice to open a business, the choice to be a healer, the choice to be a writer, the choice to be an artist, the choice to be a musician, the choice to be a doctor, the choice to be a healer, all those things. When we pick that from the merge place and we are not dissuaded and we keep going until we get there and past it, we become a beneficial presence on the planet. It looks like the universe bends in towards us. What do I mean? Well, you find abundance everywhere. There's enough money. There's more than enough money. There's enough love. There's enough support. There's enough friends. There's enough everything. The universe bends to help us. And at the same time, we're helping the universe by being this beneficial presence on the planet. This is the circle. This is what it's all about. If you miss this, I don't know. If I was extremely fortunate. I've been supporting my mother since 2004 or something like that. Yeah, and I've been super fortunate that I'm able to do that, and I'm thrilled to be able to do that. If you are around elderly people and you get to see what they regret, like and not only get to see what they regret, but speak to them and see what life looks like at 70, at 80, at 90. That should be all the motivation you need, all the motivation to have the merger. And then from that merger to pick the thing that is from your heart, and then never to give up on it, because it's going to get harder before it gets easier. You're going to have a lot of losses before you get the permanent win. So in this, here's the thing. So in this thing, and I hate to use war mentality, but I will, war verbiage, but I will. There's many battles in a war, and some you win and some you lose. The thing that's important is that the ones that you lose, you get up from and you walk forward. That ensures at the end of the war, the victory is yours. If you get knocked down and you quit, then there is no war. That was the end. The war's over. So pick it from the right place. Get the energy moving with you. Get people excited, because people are very excited based on your excitement. They're very excited or very unexcited. So when I'm doing something, I get super stoked because I see how it's going to benefit the whole world. Like the Rythmia idea, the thing that the moon said to do. I could immediately see the bigness of that idea and what it could mean, and I got amped, and I got everybody else amped. This is how it's supposed to be. Whether it's about you and you're being a musician, you and being a healer, you and being a banker, you and being this or that, this is it. And these are the times. Things are going to go like this. Now is the time to make up your mind and to become a part of it, and really become a part of it. To become a part of it, to become aware of it, and to be in it. Now, it's hard to be in it. It's hard to be in it when the thing that you picked was not from wholeness. See, because what's going to happen, the universe is going to resist you until it accepts you. And that's something that I call critical mass. When you get this flow going so much that the universe even decides this is part of the universe, I'm going to help you pave that road. But until then, you're pushing the rock up the hill, pushing the rock up the hill, pushing the rock up the hill. And every time you get it 2 inches up, it comes an inch back. And you think, I can't lift this damn thing one more time. You do it, you do it, you do it, you do it, you do it. At some point, if that was picked from a place in you that was fractured, meaning if you're doing it for your mom, your sister, your neighbor, the guy next door, the people down the street, to impress someone else, one of these times that rock comes back, you're going to say, fuck it, and you're going to fucking let it go. And now you're starting from the rock at the bottom of the hill again. And this is why, what I call the continuous failure cycle. There's people that are in this continuous cycle of failure. They can't seem to get out of it. And the reason isn't their methodology. The reason is that the gumption to go the whole distance isn't there because it wasn't picked from the right place. It's not their fault. It's kind of their fault, but it's not a fault in methodology. I mean, everybody's pushing the rock up the hill the same way. It's not their fault. It's not that they can learn some shortcut in pushing the rock. That's not it. That's not it. And don't kid yourself, because it's a huge lie to tell yourself that. The real truth is, examine, why am I doing this? And I say, never, ever, ever quit unless you discover you picked it from a place that's not cool. The day that you discover that you picked it from a place that's not cool, you got to get out of that quicker than you've ever gotten out of anything in your life, because the rest of it can't start until this stops. The rest of it cannot start until this stops. Can't. So what I and listen, if you don't understand this, it's hard to put this into words, but if you're not understanding it, it's because there's something that's not clicking there. So if you look at this theory and you're saying, I don't understand what he means about both feet in, I don't understand what he means about doing it from emerged self, I don't understand what he means about doing it for someone else, then you're probably not both feet in, not doing it from emerged place, and probably doing it for someone else. Fact. So this is why it's so important. People think all the time that Gerry must think that he's doing all this stuff to save the world. I'm not thinking that at all. At all. I'm thinking that everybody who comes here, that this place will be a beneficial presence in their life, and that they can live a happier, more fulfilled, more successful, more peaceful, and more abundant life. That's it. Does that help the world? I believe it does, but that's not the reason. The reason is that I'm in love with people. And these people that come here, if you see them and you see them leave, and then you talk to them 6, 8 months, a year, 2 years later, and you see the difference that these simple things have made in their life, then by all means, geez, you want to get on this, because life is too short. And the thing is, I'm telling you, I'm looking at myself anymore, and I look at my hands, and my hands got older, and I'm thinking, wow, geez, I remember my father's hands looking like this, which is scary. And man, the time is going, the time is moving. And the passage of time is the only constant. And all I can do is do my best every day. And in doing my best every day, I get this sense of, like, when I sleep at night, and I go to sleep super early anymore, around 7:30 or 8 o'clock. I go to bed. But when I go to bed, I get this sense of, man, I did something. And I want everybody to have that. I want everybody, because I know people, and I speak to them all the time, that say, I can't sleep because I know I'm not doing the right thing with my life. Boom. That's not okay at 20. It's not okay at 40. It's not okay at 60. That is never okay. And then people say to me, oh, Gerry, yeah, I see what you're saying, Be in it until you decide, or until you discover that that you got in this out of a fractured self. Then once you discover that, you back out. But what if I have a huge car payment, a huge mortgage, and all these different things at the same time? So what? It is never too late to get on the right path. It is never too late until it's too late. And what do I mean by that? Well, I had a journey. Today is whatever day is, Tuesday. I drank medicine Wednesday and Thursday. And I got outside of myself again. And that feeling of not having a body, that feeling, that day is coming. And once you don't have a body, you can't do this shit. You can't help. You can't touch or taste or feel or experience this. You can't. Then it's too late. So just know, and I swear to you, the person that looks at themselves and says, it's just too uncomfortable for me to change, the day that they leave their body, they're going to say, oh, shit, man, what I would give him for one more day of pursuing what I was supposed to be doing. What I would give. And that is the truth of the truth of the truth. So by all means, whatever you're doing, please get to a place like this. Get to a place like this. Get to a place like this, and get to a place in yourself where you get to the absolute truth. And from that place of the truth, you pick the thing that you should be doing, the life that you want. You are the engineer of this life. You know, I can say something, and I don't talk about me. I try not to talk about me. But when this thing started, and I said, you know what, one day I want to live 8 months of the year in Costa Rica and 4 months of the year in Turks and Caicos, and I want to do it in a particular way, and I want to give my life to something and have every day I want to meet new people who were helping and have them have this thing, and here it is. It's upon me. Because everything that you do, you are engineering everything that you want. You're doing it whether you know it or not. You are the engineer. You're writing your floor plan. You're creating your design. You are doing it. So you know what to do? Take some time and do it. Take some time and do it. Have a merger. Come to a place like this and then decide, this is what I want my life to look like. And I want this from my merged self, and I'm not going to give up until I get it. And as a matter of fact, I won't even give up until ever. Because the idea of retirement is an outdated, old school, not real idea. As a matter of fact, retirement was a death sentence. So if you take a look at it, it was probably designed, I'm going to go real weird on you, but maybe it was designed governmentally or maybe by corporations to get people off the books, because as soon as they retired, they died. So, and that is the truth. You take a look, go back into the 60s and see people that died that retired at 62, and look what happened to them by the time they were 68. You know what? They weren't there. Very interesting stuff. So that whole idea, that outdated idea of I'm going to get somewhere and rest, is not of this world. It's not how nature works. It's not how nature works. So get in it. The sooner you can get in it, the better. The sooner you can create movement, the sooner you can get people to hop on. And that is the truth. And I really want you to know that I want you here. I want to meet you. If I've met you before, I want to meet you again. I want to touch you. I want to know who you are. I want to see you go through this process, and I want to see you elevate and change your life forever. Not so much that it's a thing, but so that you become a beneficial presence on the planet. You become this thing, and that's all it is in your family. And what I mean by that is this: I don't mean starting a business or doing any of that shit. I mean just doing it, being a beneficial presence in your family, being the mother you always dreamed of, being the father you always dreamed of, being the thing. That's how to do it. That's how to do it. Sometimes it involves businesses. Sometimes it involves careers. Sometimes it involves ways of being or new ways. But a lot of times it just involves us being present and knowing that we're both feet in and taking care of things. That's it. So listen, thank you for coming. We're going to have a real busy week next week here. And I have to tell you something. This, like, I don't know, a lot of times there's a lot of people that watch this that are our competitors and stuff, and I think they get mad because of how good we do. But I have to tell you something. Please book in, because here's what's happening. Costa Rica is receiving 20% of the flights that it did this time in 2019. And we're busy. When the flights come again, and I think they're coming again in the summer, we're going to be booked out 6 and 8 months in advance, and it's only going to get more expensive because Costa Rica is a very hard place to do business. So it's always going to get more expensive, right? There's always inflation. The cheapest time for you to come here is now. It is never going to get cheaper than it is right now. Please come. Please have this happen. And then become a Rythmiite, whatever that is. And what I consider that is someone who's going through life now, merged, content, in the program, both feed in and love and life. That's how this should be. God bless you. God keep you. And we will see you next week.